No. And football, in football, Kansas City has been able to win the last two Super Bowls because they've had the best player on the field in most of the games that they played. Right now, the best player going into the game doesn't always play the best. Sometimes it comes short. But if you're going into this game tonight, who's the best player on that field tonight?
I mean, I would say it's Josh Allen or Tyreek Hill.
There's not even an or. There's no way a great I don't care how great of a receiver you are. You can never equal to a great quarterback because a quarterback has the ball in his hand every. You can do whatever you want to do with him. He's not going to touch the ball every play on offense. Josh Allen will. Even if they hand it enough to the running back, the ball is going to touch Josh Allen's hand every time that they have the ball.
We understand.
So he has a bigger impact on the game. He has a bigger. Even with Tyreek Hill, whatever Tyreek Hill wants to do, he needs Tua. If Tua doesn't throw him the ball, Josh Allen don't need nobody to get him the ball.
Tua is competent though.
He's competent. Yeah, he's competent.
What I'm saying? So,
but what I'm saying is, if you put a corner on Tyreek Hill, right? And we know Tyreek Hill is the fastest man in the NFL. He's hard to guard him. But we've seen Tyreek Hill, they've game planned against Tyreek Hill before you've been able to take him out of the game.
But this is gonna be one of, Josh's most toughest tasks since, he first came in the league.
You talking about the season?
Yeah, just because the lack of the lack of weapons. Hold on, let me land.
Okay.
Last week, he went against a terrible Arizona team, and they had a slow start, but he put his cape on. He was able to wield the team, but this week they're playing on a shorter week as well. Mm-hmm. Hey, I got Josh Allen in like 3 of my fantasy leagues, so best believe I'm rooting for him. You know what I'm saying? But I know Miami they have a little better defense with like Ramsey and Bradley Chubb and those guys. So I think tonight may be a tougher matchup. But I think Josh is beyond great. He's a great quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But I had higher hopes for Dalton Kincaid. He was a flop.
That was game 1.
Yeah.
I think Kincaid is going to go off tonight.
I hope so because
they don't have no safety that can stay.
I got him in like 4 or 5 leagues. Yeah, so I need him.
I think Kincaid is going to go off tonight. But what I'm saying to you is, the premise is not to say who's going to win the game.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. Yeah. But, I'm just saying, what are you guys expecting? What are you looking forward to?
And what I'm telling you is, what I'm saying that I expect of the game is, Buffalo has the best player on the field tonight, right? So Miami up and down the roster has a better roster, right? But Buffalo has the best player in the best position. So he's going to be able to impact that game one way or the other. If he plays great, I don't see Buffalo losing that game because Josh Allen is great. Josh Allen is great. If you keep running the ball, it's going to get hurt. Whatever you want to say. Your quarterback runs the ball every goddamn other play. He can't throw it. He's bigger and stronger than Lamar. What are you talking about?
Well, Lamar had 2 MVPs. He's a great player. How come he came in 2 MVPs?
That has nothing to do. Josh Allen has been more successful than Lamar. Anybody that we just had this conversation last week. When they have a conversation, who are the top quarterbacks in the league? There's only 3 names that comes up.
They can talk about Josh Allen all they want. As long as you're not winning no championship, you're not winning anything. Come on, you're not there. That's it.
You're not winning no championship, but he's been closer to winning championship than Lamar.
All right.
And this is not even a Lamar conversation.
Don't worry, fellas. We got a long season. We're gonna get to the Lamar.
We're not even talking about Lamar right here. We're talking about if Josh Allen and Lamar's playing on the field, nobody will ever tell you Lamar's the better player on that field.
Okay.
His ceiling is not as high as Josh Allen. Huh?
Don't worry. We got time to get to that.
Who?
Time out.
Lamar?
Again, we got time to get to, the best QBs.
So tonight, I expect for this game, I expect it to be a good game. I expect it to be a high-scoring game.
Any score?
We know Thursday nights is usually high-scoring.
Right.
And from the past, I'll say Buffalo 31-24.
Okay, so
it's going to be a lower score game.
So what's your prediction, Collins? What score?
I think Miami probably like
Damn.
25, 26.
So
first of all, those numbers that you pick, they're not typical football. How often have you seen,
So let's say he's thinking 26-10.
I mean, but 25, you already
or 26-14.
I mean, listen. And one thing, and I don't know if you guys follow trends. Josh Allen's record against Miami is his best record against.
Give the people what the record is.
It's his best. I think his winning percentage. Don't quote me. Is about 84%. I think.
They play each other twice each year.
Okay. He has more wins against Miami than any other team in the NFL. He got their number. Yeah, he's been highly successful against them. Okay. I think he's only ever lost one game in his career to Miami, which was 2 years ago when they lost on that Sunday in a game where they outgamed Miami. They doubled Miami's total yards, but they ended up losing. They missed a field goal at the end. So that's the only game he's ever lost. He's only ever lost one game to Miami. Okay. So he's been highly successful against them.
It's a new season.
And listen. Like we're saying, we're not picking the winners or the loser of the game right now. We're just saying.
I'm just saying, because you're always trying to talk about Josh Allen, the best quarterback. Come on, don't even compare both with Lamar, and I don't want to hear that.
Lamar. Why? Nobody even talks about Lamar as the best quarterback. Everybody knows they were just blasting Lamar on First Take the day right after the game on Friday. Everybody was talking about how Lamar Jackson keep missing wide open guys in the end zone for game winners.
Allen don't miss any.
He don't do. He sees a field way better than Lamar.
Wait. But Mahomes is a great quarterback, right?
Yeah.
During that game, he made some throws too. Every quarterback can miss any.
Lamar misses them when the game is on the line. It's when you miss them. You can miss a throw in the first quarter, second quarter. But fourth quarter with 1 minute left and you got a game to go win, missing a throw is not acceptable for an all-time great. It doesn't happen.
Okay, so
Brady's not doing that. Peyton Manning is not doing that.
We getting hot. We getting hot.
Lamar does it over and over every year.
We getting hot.
And then we go back to, he doesn't have weapons. They bring him weapons.
Watch him destroy Raiders this weekend.
He could destroy them. Of course, he's a regular season quarterback. He does that all his career. Do good in the regular season.
Can you hear that? Here you go. A great quarterback is a great quarterback. I don't care if you're doing a regular season or playoff. A great quarterback is a great quarterback.
No.
Don't worry.
Do we consider?
Hold on, time out. Mm-hmm. Look, I know we're not gonna leave this topic if you guys keep going. So we got enough time this season to touch on Josh Allen, Lamar.
No, he brought Lamar. Lamar's not even on the topic. This is a Josh Allen topic.
We got enough time, but we're gonna pivot to the Dallas Cowboys, aka America's team. They're 1-0. They beat the Cleveland Browns. They beat the brakes off of them. This week 2, they will be facing the Saints. What are y'all expectations for Dallas? Do y'all think they finally have the right mix of guys to go all the way? Do you think Dak Prescott can get it done? What are y'all thoughts on the Cowboys?
Well, I think it's just 2 games, right? I mean, 1 game.
1 game, right?
1 game. So come on, we can't. Let's see how the season goes. Then we can talk about it. For me, the Cowboys always going to be the Cowboys. But I see, what's the guy's called? The wide receiver. What was his name?
CD Lamb.
It's looking good. CD was looking good on Sunday. He has so many receptions. So I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. But like I said, Josh, you're gonna be what's his name? Dak Prescott's gonna be Dak.
Talking about Josh.
When the time is
He
right
loves
to
Josh.
do well, they drop the ball. So let's just wait. Just a second game. Second game. So let's see.
So you saying Dallas is an accident waiting to happen?
Exactly. That song was actually perfect for them.
Okay. How about you?
No, man, they look really good. Sunday against one of the best defense. Kellen Moore. I've always thought Kellen Moore was not Kellen Moore, but
Kellen is not there.
Mike McCarthy. Mm-hmm. I've always felt like Mike McCarthy gets a bad rap. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. He's been the only one that can win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, as great as Aaron Rodgers is. Even before Brett Favre retired, the last couple of years he played with McCarthy. Brett had some great years under McCarthy. I think he's a great offensive mind. I don't know what his personality is. Why, people don't tend to like.
It's a little quirky.
So people don't seem to gravitate to him. But he's a great offensive mind. I don't think Dallas has enough pieces to go all the way. I mean, check out CeeDee Lamb. Who else do they got? Your running back is Zeke and Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is old at this point now. He can't fly past people like he used to, in his early years. So I don't think they as good.
Right.
Defensively though, I think
they're above average.
Yeah, they up there. They're in the top tier of the defense.
Yeah,
right?
Defense.
Dak, I don't think Dak is a top 10 quarterback. I think if Dallas would have had a top 5 quarterback with the defense that they have, you could say a Super Bowl because that defense on any day could shut anybody down.
Right.
But Dak, like we said about Lamar, Dak finished second in MVP last year. He's had a lot of great regular season, but when it comes to the playoff, there's 1 or 2 throws that changes the game. For the most part, because now you're playing the upper echelon. Everybody's almost on the same level. You just need a quarterback to make a play here or play there. And for Dak, look at that game against San Francisco 2 years ago in the playoff. I think it was 18 seconds left.
Right.
And he ran that ball. And a great quarterback knows you're up against time. You can't take the chance of running that ball and the clock running out on you. You got to look for something else, throw somewhere. They had a chance in that game, if you were to make the right decision. Last year, they got beat real bad,
Green Bay.
Yeah, so, so he didn't really have a chance to change the course of that game because the game was, it was a little bit out of hand. Nobody saw that coming from Jordan Love and them. But, so for Dallas, they win 11, 12 games every year. We know that. So we're not going to get too excited about them winning in the regular season because like we said, and now the problem is now in the NFC, I'll say Philly got better over the offseason with the addition of Saquon. Detroit is still, they're going up there. San Francisco is still the big bad wolf of the NFC. So now Dallas, at the best, it's the 4th best team in the NFC, right? And best case scenario you can make for them say they're better than Philly, and you put them on top of Philly because they won the division last year. But Philly got better. So unless that, and that's why I thought that contract that he received was kind of crazy because that's only going to handicap you moving forward in the future to improving the team. Because like you said, you take CeeDee Lamb out of the game. Who were you really afraid of on the Dallas offensive side? With who though? With Zeke, Dalvin Cook, you have running backs who are in the twilight of their careers on your team. You don't really have no game breaker, special running back. So everything's gonna fall.
Did they draft anybody in the draft?
No, they didn't. So you have 2 old running backs running for you. The offensive line is still good, but it's no longer great. So now, I just don't see the prospect of Dallas going any further past the first week of the playoffs.
I'll say this. I like Mike Zimmer, the new defensive coordinator.
But do you think he was better than
Quinn?
Quinn.
Dan Quinn. I think Dan Quinn was good too. I like Zimmer and then him bringing over his guy Eric Kendricks, to kind of man that defense as the linebacker. He's a very
Commander actually retired, right?
Yeah, because of his neck injury.
His neck, yeah.
I think Kendricks is one of the more underrated, smart guys. He's not the most physical, but he's very smart. And I think he had like 2 sacks and a pick his first game.
He had 2 sacks?
Yeah, at the linebacker position.
Wow.
Of course, they still got Micah and Lawrence and those guys. So and Trayvon Diggs is back. So I
think he's overrated.
I do too. But I mean, when it comes to being a ball hawk, I think he attacks the ball a lot. But when it comes to coverage,
that's a problem.
His coverage
he gambles
is not
too much.
Right. It's they got smart safety and like Malik Hooker back there.
Hooker, the same one that the coach cut
because of injury. He had a lot of.
I mean, he had a good year. I mean, he was a great safety in college, but
he had a lot of.
Since he's been in the NFL, I haven't seen nothing from him.
Nah, he started off great, but injuries. But since he's been in Dallas, his career's picked back up. So I think, with a good defensive coordinator like Zim and some key players, any given Sunday, maybe that defense can help the team.
I agree with that defense.
The offense, they don't have too many weapons. Jake Ferguson is decent. He got hurt.
Yeah.
How long is he? I think it's like an MCL, so it's not going to be too long, but he's going to miss some time. So they're going to need the other tight end from Michigan to show up. Whom they drafted second round, by the way.
Oh, well,
Shoemaker.
He should be showing up. He's
right.
a second rounder.
Right.
You're a starter right away.
So Brandon Cooks, he's still a speed guy, but like you say, he's on the older end. They have, some older backs.
They still have your boy, the other wide receiver,
Tolbert?
No, not Tolbert. The one that was the number 2 for the longest, Gallup.
No, Gallup retired, and he signed with the Saints, and then he retired because he had the major injury that he came back from last year, but he was never the same.
Yeah, I like Michael Gallup.
Yeah, Gallup is dope.
Yeah,
Dak it's gonna boil down to Dak, man. Like you say, he just signed 4 years, $240.
Yeah,
making $60.
I
I mean, whether he has it or not, he has to find it week after week because, like you said, when you're making that type of money, you got to put.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with a guy like that. Like, why would he take that type of money? I understand everybody wants to be rich, but if you want to win.
But you got to. Everybody's different. What you play for is different.
But he claims he doesn't play for money. You saw an interview after he signed a contract.
Everybody claims they don't play for money. You hear a guy like.
But you a Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
You watch Gil's Arena.
Yeah.
You hear a guy he tell you, I need the money.
But he knew. Listen, I get it, right?
Even though when he played, he said he took less.
He took less. Yeah.
But he said, man, I don't care.
But he took less though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying
because I don't care how much money you get. If you keep losing, it's not a good feeling.
It's not.
So what I.
You are missing. Why do we play? Okay, wait. Why did they do what they do? You'll be able to make money to take care of their family. A point will come in your career where you know what, this team is not going nowhere. Okay, you're losing and you're losing money. Come on.
No, but people keep talking about money. We're talking about in Dak Prescott's case, he's taking $60 million right now. If he chooses to take 50, it's still $50 million a year. Still, they're not money.
How much have he made throughout his career?
A lot. He just signed one.
Exactly.
So that's my point. So he could have chose Patrick Mahomes. Has taken less.
Right.
So his team could be winning. Tom Brady did it for the longest time. And what people don't realize is when you win, you get to make money even after you retire because you're known as a champion. People want to associate themselves with winners. Tom Brady signed a $350 million contract with Fox. Do you think Peyton Manning got that same deal? No. Tom Brady will get that because he's regarded as the biggest winner.
Something like that around that amount.
So when Patrick Mahomes retires, you know how many people are going to line up to do work with him, to do business with him because he's known as a winner? People want to deal with winners.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say this. For the first time, I mean, the way the Jerry Jones and them are running, because Dallas is still the number one value sports franchise. Yeah. And so that's what he's cashing in no matter what. So like this year, for the way they handled the offseason was terrible. Like they didn't sign no running backs. They didn't draft no running backs. They didn't sign no wide receivers, nothing. Like, they literally didn't sign anybody. So that's a team that they didn't give a damn, bro. Because this team will still be in the news. They're still number one.
But you don't think Jerry Jones wants to win the Super Bowl? You don't think he wants to win the Super Bowl?
Did they think the team that got washed by Green Bay to bring that team back, that's going to help you win the Super Bowl? In what sense? But then your wide receiver, you wait till like a week before the season to... What are we doing?
Yeah, but if you look at it though, right? Going into that game, Dallas was favored, I think, by a touchdown, right? Even though they lost by whatever amount they lost by. Going into the game, it was Vegas favored them by a touchdown. So it's to say they was. It's the crazy thing about football is you only get one game. It's not a series like the NBA where you can have a bad game. You can see Boston Celtics lose by 30 one game, but they still come back and win the series, right?
Right.
because you get an opportunity to regroup. Now, with football, you don't have that. So what happens is they might look at that as an anomaly, like that was just a bad game. That's not really who we are.
Nah, you got that's delusional. But like I said, that was week 1. We got a long season ahead.
They probably had the most impressive win of week 1.
We're gonna talk more Cowboys as the season goes along. But we're gonna pivot to the W. Shout out to the WNBA. They thriving. It's a lot. It's a lot of news going on within the W.
Mm-hmm.
We got Caitlin Clark versus Asia Wilson yesterday. We got a chance to see a matchup between probably the unanimous Rookie of the Year and maybe the unanimous MVP of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Aegis and the Aces came on top. Caitlin struggled. I think she shot about 6 for 22. Asia struggled herself. She shot 11 of 28.
She just keep jacking up, huh?
She's now the most. She scored the most points in a single season. So, what are your thoughts about Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, the MVP race, everything? What are your thoughts?
To be honest, in your own opinion, who do you think should be the MVP?
I think the MVP will be Asia Wilson, just because of the astronomical numbers that she's put up offensively, and she's also been good on the defensive side. So I think it's going to be her, despite the fact that the Aces they've won less games this season than they have when they won 2 back-to-back championships. I think what Caitlin is doing as a rookie is beyond impressive. We've never seen this before, and for the first time.
There you have it. No, you just said it. There you have it. See,
but we've also never seen what Asia has done before as well. So it's
Okay. Okay. Who is the most impactful player?
I mean,
to their team.
I would say probably Caitlin, just because that.
Exactly. So that's your MVP, right? That's how they judge MVP.
No,
right?
But that's not how they judge MVP. That if it was, I think we would have a clear MVP each year. Sometimes I don't know the criteria for MVP for real.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the problem, is because you have maybe 100 voters that vote on this stuff,
right?
And each person looks at
something
different. So, I think I think the Aces winning yesterday kind of solidified her as MVP. Like, I think if Caitlin and them might have won and caught up to them in the standings, you might have had a chance. But them losing that game yesterday, and Caitlin not having the best of her games. I think she scored 16 points and 6 assists.
Right.
First time she hasn't scored 20 and 5 assists.
Right.
In like the last 10 games or something like that. So her struggling yesterday, and Ace is clearly gonna have a better record than them. I think there's 3 games left in the season.
Right.
So yeah, but she's gonna win MVPs down the line. This is not her. They give it to Asia. Asia's gonna cry anyway, and all her supporters are gonna cry with her. But
I mean, she's had a great season.
She's had a great season.
I won't take that from her, but
she's had a great season. But what are they, 4th in the standings?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So to me, you're 4th in the standings out of 12 teams. I mean, how valuable are you?
I mean, it doesn't mean you're not valuable.
Not saying, but how valuable are you? What are you valuable to?
We have to know how to judge these things, man. So
and this is the team that I think they won. They only lost 6 games last year.
Her team was number 1 last year.
Yeah.
They didn't give her the MVP.
I know.
So, we're not going to...
No, but they gave it to the person that finished number 2, right?
But her team finished number 1.
Yeah. So my point I'm making to you is, we don't expect that the best record gets the MVP, but you got to be at least up there. And to me, top 3. But she's still going to get it. I'm not saying she's not going to get it, but I would have said a person like Nafisa Collier probably should be looked at.
Yeah, she's in the race. I think Nafisa is number 2 in the race.
To me, if we want to be honest, and I'm a Caitlin fan, Nafisa, I think, is the most valuable to her team, because nobody expected the Lynx to be that good this year.
Right.
And for them to be first in the West. I think number 3 overall in the standings for a team that a lot of people did not have that type of expectation for. And the numbers she's put up constantly, 20 and 10, constantly. You know, I think she should have been, but Haja is having a historical season, so I guess they could give it to her.
Yeah, because Nafisa is, like you said, she is averaging like 20 and 12, but Asia is doing like, 27 and 12, and then with the blocks and steals. Yeah. So WNBA has never seen no stat line like that. Yeah. So I think that's why, you know what I'm saying, they're like, yo, and Nafisa is also playing defense as well. She has great defense.
I think the Lynx are either number 1 or number 2 defensively with Connecticut.
Right.
You know, so they play great defense. But you know,
I think she'll win it.
You know.
Oh yeah, down the line, because I mean, the WNBA to me did Caitlin and the Fever a disservice to start the year, because I think they wanted to milk them. So they played 11 games in 19 days. Which is ridiculous. Within that same span, I think the Aces only played 6 games. So imagine another team only playing half the games because they just wanted to put Caitlin out there. But as you can see, they started out so poorly, like 1 and 8. You know, so and she was struggling because they was probably tired. She was fresh off college. Like she had 2 weeks off before she. You know what I'm saying? So you see as the season went on, you know, she got to gel with the team, especially after the Olympic break. They've been like one of the best teams, and the numbers has been crazy. So now give them a full off season to go into next year. I think the numbers.
Yeah. I think she's next year she's gonna average 20 and 10.
Oh yeah.
I think she's gonna do 20 and 10, and which has never been done in the history of that league. So, I think I see MVPs, multiple MVPs down the line for her, whatever. But
even this year, she got to be first team All W.
Oh, she's first team All W. There's no guard that's played better. There's no guard with better stat line.
They're gonna try to put Sabrina in there.
So it's gonna be her and Sabrina. It is her and Sabrina. I mean, you know, there's nobody else you could put there but her and Sabrina. I mean, Sabrina, I think, is top 4 MVP voters too. She's actually carried the team a little bit more than Stewie this year. Sabrina has been special. So I think it should be her and Sabrina back there. And probably, my top 5 would be Asia, Stewie, Nafisa, Brianna, and Caitlin.
Yeah, you mean Sabrina.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think those should be the first team.
Yeah, that should be the first team.
But hey, with this league, man, anything is possible. I know.
I mean, there's no way they could put Arike there.
Oh because Arike's team sucks.
And Jewel Lloyd, you can't put her in there. She's the most inefficient guard in the damn league.
Because they dropped their top 5
MVP,
and they put Alyssa Thomas because the team is.
Well, you could put
Alyssa Thomas averages like 10
points, but she averages like 7 assists and like 8 rebounds.
Well, what is that?
Which is nowhere compared to Caitlin's number.
What are we doing?
But
Alyssa Thomas don't even shoot.
Yeah,
she's come on. Let's not do this.
Yeah. But you know, when you do the first team all W, there's no place for her. You know, because she's a forward.
I don't know if they do positionless. Who knows? But I was like, come on, this league they gotta stop.
There's no place to put her, and everybody. I mean, we all know like she. But you know what's crazy to me because Alyssa Thomas had a great year last year.
Yeah,
she kind of fell off this year.
I mean, but that year, I mean, it came out of nowhere. But you know, she was a triple-double machine last year. I actually wanted her to win MVP last year.
She had a chance to win it. Yeah,
I think she finished second.
Did she finish top Asian?
I think Asian.
I know they was the top 3. Yeah.
So I think she last year was impressive. I thought she should have won. But this year, like you said, she definitely took a step down. The points came down. Like,
isn't she married to the other girl on the team?
Yeah, they engaged. The one bottom. Yeah. Can you imagine being on the team with your fiancé? That's the W for you, man.
Yeah. I mean, most other workplaces in America is you can't do that, right? You ban it, yeah, you can't. So you can't, So
that's ridiculous. And before we get to our topic, our picks of the day, I just kind of wanted to, get you guys' take on this. I think the WNBA commissioner was on, she did an interview and they were asking her about, the racism and the negativity that goes on social media with the fans. They highlighted Caitlin Clark fans towards other people like Angel Reese. Did you guys catch that? How she responded or didn't, kind of evaded that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw when she said, it's
about the rivalry.
That that's part of the rivalry. Which she's right.
And did you see the backlash from the players?
I only heard from Brianna and Angel.
Dejanay Carrington.
But it's a lot of these girls in the WM, they gotta stop it, man. The reality of it is the only thing that y'all should care about is the fact that y'all about to be more successful. Y'all got more eyes on y'all. Y'all got more money coming in. They not used to this. Let me show you people this, right? There's two guys. If you know what their fans say to each other online, and
specify those fans, by the way.
And for you guys that don't know, this is Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, who has been the two best soccer players for the last 20 years, right? The rivalry that the fans, especially when Ronaldo was playing for Real Madrid and Messi was at Barcelona, it was crazy. It was like almost to the point where they ready to kill each other over these two guys, and that promoted La Liga to a height that is never seen before. They took soccer to a place where soccer was never more popular than it was at that point. You was either team CR7 or you was team Messi. That's what it was. So. And we still will see it today when they're in the twilight of their careers, where, Messi winning a World Cup recently, everybody was ready to kill Ronaldo fans. Yes, there's no more debate who the GOAT is anymore. Messi has a World Cup now. Ronaldo doesn't. And even, Messi's always been quiet. Ronaldo would take little, Ronaldo was more of the Angel Reese, who would take a little jab.
Because we know you a Messi fan.
No, but we don't know. Just like with Caitlin now, there's no comparison who the best player is as in the rookie class. Once Messi won that World Cup, was named the best player of the tournament, the comparison was over. Even though Messi has 8 Ballon d'Ors, so Ronaldo's 5 Ballon d'Ors already. Messi is one of the most trophies of any soccer player to ever play.
Let's keep it.
Yeah, we keep it at that. But
go ahead, Colin. What you just said. If you look at the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at the teams Ronaldo is playing on, and let's look at the team Messi is playing on. See, these things are not individual things, right? This is just soccer. Messi have good teammates, better players.
So does Ronaldo.
Do you agree? No. Okay,
no.
On Argentina versus Portugal.
No, I don't agree with that. I think Portugal actually has better players than Argentina.
Okay, name them.
Bruno Fernandes is the captain of Manchester United.
A minute and a half. Let's keep it up.
Okay, I'm going with you. Yeah, I just named you one.
Let's redirect back to the
W. Let's redirect back to the W. But even let's say, to me, if Messi would have won the World Cup and he was just a player on the team, that's one thing. But he was the best player in the tournament.
Back to the W.
He carried the team.
Back to the W.
Now,
he came to MLS, right?
Yeah.
He have good players around him. He clearly scored goals. Don't get me wrong. You can tell.
He won the first tournament he played in MLS. All right. What are we talking about?
All right. I'm just gonna say this. I think it just shows that the women they're not ready for the big time. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't control fans. You can control fans in your arena, but you can't really police social media like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's unfortunate we don't promote violence and all racism, all this stuff, but Bama's been getting basketball player, football player. They get death threats all the time. You know what I'm saying? When your league is at an all-time high, it comes with the territory.
And hey, listen, I'm one of those guys too. I go crazy on some of y'all players, especially when I pick a parlay out there and you make me lose, a la Sacramento last year, losing to Washington Wizards, you cost me $7,000 that day, man. Yeah, I tweeted De'Aaron Fox. I said, yo, D Fox, man,
don't let us get
don't mess up my money again, man. But so yeah, I mean, with today's world, with sports betting even getting bigger, like you're gonna have stuff like that where people are. I mean, if you miss out on 100,000 because a guy did not make a free throw, how you gonna feel?
I know, I'm here.
So players should have a little bit more thicker skin in terms of like things that they're gonna read about themselves and hear about themselves, especially with today's social media. People are gonna go crazy. People are gonna speak their mind because nobody policing it. So yeah, Caleb fan can say whatever to you. What are you crying about? As long as they don't put their hands on you and they don't, hurt you. Like people can say whatever they want to say. So all right, that's my opinion about that.